Hello everyone, this is Umashankar Ratnala. In this session, I am going to explain one real-time integration and also we will walk through the actual business requirements. As you know, Tata Motors is a client who wants some set of services. They are famous into manufacturing the vehicles. They have manufacturing unit, HR unit, finance unit and supply chain management unit, right? So they are using multiple applications to execute their business process. Because there is no software supplier who provides end-to-end solution. Some services provided by the Oracle are very beautiful and also some services from third-party applications are good. Alright. So in this example, let's say they are using Oracle applications to manage their financials and supply chain management. Right? Financials and supply chain management, they are using Oracle application, their source application. But they want to integrate the data with the third-party applications. For example, Workday. In the Workday, we can maintain the HR related information, right? So they want to send the HR data to Oracle applications. In that scenario, we need a integration between Workday to Oracle, right? The second one is POS. So POS is a point of scale application where we can use this application at the retail stores. So in the retail stores, they can take the customer orders. All right, and also they can send the orders to Oracle application. They wanted to create the orders in Oracle. Whenever the orders are created in the POS application, immediately they want to create in Oracle. In that scenario, we need an integration between POS to Oracle. All right, and also they have one more third-party application, Zebra Barcode. It's a scanning application. All right, they want to scan the item details. They want to check the on-hand quantity of the item from Oracle. In that scenario, we need an integration between Zebra Barcode and Oracle application, right? So how we are going to build this integration? Okay, so let's take an example. In this example, we will receive a request from the Zebra scan. Zebra is a third-party application. First, we have to get the request from the Zebra application. So we will place it in a audit table. Whatever the data we received, we will store it in a backend tables for future reference. Alright. And also we will call one PLSQL package. We will pass the request and we will get the response. And also same response we can insert into the audit table again. Okay. So in this example, either you can call the PLSQL package, either you call any REST API web services as per your requirement. Right? In order to execute this functionality, so I'm going to create a PLSQL package where it will accept the request and also it will process that information. It will give the response. We can store it in a audit table. Now we can see what are the database objects we can use as a part of this integration. First one is the table creation. So here this is the audit table where we can store your request and response details. Okay. So this table will contain your source. Source is nothing but where you are getting the data and the target is nothing but where you are sending. Okay. So your interface name and also instance ID. So whenever OIC submit any request, it will generate the instance ID and the same instance ID we can capture here. Okay. And also we will store the payload. Payload is nothing but your request payload. So that could be in XML format and JSON format. Right, so that we create a table payload column with the CLOP data type, okay, character log data type, and also status and insert timestamp. Okay, first we have to create this table, and also you can execute the PLSQL specification and body. So whenever you are doing the practice, either you can use the PLSQL package or either you can call any Oracle cloud-based APIs. Okay, as per your requirement. So I don't have any environment to call the web services. Just instead of that, I'm just executing the PLSQL package. Okay, basically this package will take the employee as a parameter and output you can get as a record type. Okay, you have first name, last name, job ID, salary. Okay, in case of any errors comes, we can update in the return status. And also we are providing the error message here. Okay. Suppose if you send the wrong employee ID, we can updating saying that employee number not found. Okay. So in case of validation successful, we are retrieving all the details and also we can capture the return status as a success. It's a simple package. So we can execute this and we can start developing the integration. Okay. So when you are working on the big projects, for all integrations, you are maintaining a data in a audit table or staging table. So we have to create a local integration for each and every insert. Okay. So in order to do that, so whenever the request is received, first we can publish that message to the OIC messaging queue. So OIC has its own built-in message queue. First we will create a publish to OIC orchestration, and then we can receive the request and we can send to the OIC messaging queue. Okay. After that we can subscribe that publish to OIC trigger and we can insert into the audit table. Okay. So who are using this insert API, okay, they can just call the local integration. They no need to create it. Okay. Everybody use the same audit table by invoking this API. Alright. So as a part of this integration, first we will create a publish to OIC and subscribe to OIC to create the or to insert the records into custom table. After that we will prepare a main integration. Okay, your main integration nothing but your app-driven orchestration. Okay, first we will create a publish to OIC and subscribe to OIC, and then we can start creating a main integration. Okay. I just connect to the OIC application. In order to start building this integration, first we need two connections. First one is the REST connection and second one is the ATP connection. I already explained you in my previous videos. You can just refer it. Okay. Let me create this integration. So I'm going to start with the publish to OIC. Okay. So basically we are publishing the message to the OIC messaging queue and then we can subscribe it. Okay. If you want to subscribe the message, first you need to create a publish to OIC. Okay. Click on here. Okay. You can give some meaningful name. So I'm going to give batch01 publish. Click on create. Okay. So you have to create a REST connection. Right. Your REST connection could be like with the table type. So whatever the table we created, right, the same table type, the same structure we can configure here. Okay. Your structure will be something like this. Okay. You can copy this structure. Okay. So here you can search for your REST connection. My REST connection is batch01. Okay. Let me type here batch01. Okay. REST connection. You can search for this one, and this is the one. Just drag and drop here. Okay. So I'm going to give some meaningful name, publish data. Click on next. Just give publish data. Select the post method. Okay. Just we are configuring the request payload only, because just we have to send the request payload to audit table. Okay, we are publishing the message to the OIC messaging queue. Okay, click on next and JSON schema, click on inline. Okay, your structure will be something like this. Okay, it is similar to your staging table structure. Okay, just I'm configuring, click on OK. Okay, click on next and click on done. Let me save it. So once we receive the message to OIC, we are publishing to the IC messaging queue. Okay. Let me add a tracking variable for that. Tracking variable, source, save. Okay. 100% is completed. Save, close. You can, if you want, you can configure it. You can activate it. Okay. Okay, this is activated. Now we are going to create a subscribe to OIC. Right? In order to create a subscribe to OIC, publish to OIC is mandatory. Okay, let me create here. Now I am going to select the subscribe to OIC. Select here. Here also you can give meaningful name. Batch01 subscribe. Okay, click on create. See, now it will show you the publishers, the list of publishers. In our previous step, we have created batch01 publish. Select this one. Okay. While creating a subscribe to OIC, you have to select the publisher. Okay. Just click on use. Okay. Save it. Okay. And this is the your ATP database connection where you are going to insert the table structure data. Okay. So this is our audit table. Okay. So in order to insert the data, I have to call the ATP database, right? So already created a ATP database connection. Okay. So my ATP database connection name is batch01. See ATP DB. Okay. Just drag and drop here, put here. Now give the insert data. So perform, you can select the perform operation in a table. We are going to insert the data. Okay, click on next. So my schema is admin1. Okay, my staging table name is OIC audit table. Search with this table. Search. Okay, select this and import tables. And click on next. Okay, you can select one field as a primary key. So in this example, I can select instance ID as a primary key. Click on OK. Click on next. And then done. Okay. Okay. So save it. You can click on this create mapping, click on here, okay, click on plus symbol, we can perform the mapping, okay. So you can open request wrapper and open your table structure, okay, source to source, target to target, interface name, interface ID, instance ID, ID3, okay, and payload, status, and insert timestamp. Okay, validate. Okay, mapping is completed. So whenever the request comes, first through this mapping we are inserting into the our audit table. Okay, validate and close. Close it. Okay, 100% is completed. Save it. Okay, already we have enabled tracking variables. Let me check once again. Okay, done. Save and close. Okay. Now we will create a main integration, and as a part of our main integration we can use this local integration and we can insert the data in audit tables, your backend tables. Okay, let's start create an integration. So I'm going to select App-Driven Orchestration. Our requirement is we need to configure, okay, employee ID is a request, and based on the employee ID we need to get first name, last name, job ID, salary, and also we have to get the return status and return message, right? So I'm going to select App-Driven Orchestration. Select. I'm going to give some meaningful name. Batch01. Okay. Employee details scan. Employee scan details. Okay. Click on create. Let me save it. Okay. Let me make it horizontal. Save it. Let me configure REST connection. So we are going to configure our request and response payload. Okay. So I'm going to select Batch01 REST connection. Okay. So here I can give the name as get employee details. Click on next. So you can give the endpoint URL name as get employee details. You have to select the post method. Okay. You have to configure your request and response payloads. Click on next. Select the JSON sample. Click on inline. select your request payload. It contain the employee number ID is the parameter. Okay, in the real time we can use the standard tables columns. Okay, click on OK, click on next, click on JSON sample, click on inline. Again, I'm going to configure the response payload. Okay, response. So based on the employee ID, we have to call the PLSQL package and we have to retrieve the first name, last name, job ID, salary, and also we will derive the return status. Okay. So let me click on OK, click on next, done. Okay. Let me save it. So the moment you configure the REST, automatically the mapper, default mapper will come here. Okay. First, whatever the request we received here, we can store in a audit table. We already created a table. All right. This is our custom table. We already created it. Okay. So we can insert the data. Already we have a local integration to insert the data in this table. All right. So in the real-time projects, so anybody can call this local integration, and we can use those integrations, and we can insert the data into this table. You no need to create a separate process to insert the data in these custom tables. Okay. So what I can do, I'm going to call the local integration. Already we have created a local integration, right? So I'm going to call that integration. In order to call that, so what I will do, let me. You can see in the calling options, you have an integration. Just call here. Okay. So here we are going to insert your request details. Okay. I can name it as insert request data. Okay. Click on next. Okay. Here you can select your integration, local integration. We have created batch 01 publish, right? Local integration. Basically, we created this integration to publish our input payload, right, to OIC messaging queue, and we can subscribe this publisher and we can insert into the audit table. So I'm going to select the batch 01 publish integration. Click on next. By default, you can keep the post method. Click on next. Okay. This is our local integration endpoint URL. Okay. Click on done. Save it. Okay. Now we can whatever the request we received, we have to do the mapping, right? You can click on here, click on edit option. Now we are going to do the mapping, right? This is your request payload. From the request payload employee details, we need employee number. And if you click on here, you can see the source, target, interface name, interface ID. All right. So what you can do, you can give your source name, create target node. Okay. I can give source is the POS. Okay. Let's take, you are receiving the data from the POS application. Okay. You can give the POS. And target is, okay, I'm assigning these values. Okay. Click on the target node, just give the Oracle. Okay. And also, so interface name, I'm going to give some meaningful name, create target node. Okay. Here I can give scan employee details. Okay. Scan employee details. Okay. Click on OK. So interface ID, whatever the employee number we are receiving from the source, right? You can give the same name, employee number. Okay. Your interface ID contain your input parameter, employee number. Okay. Click on OK. And let's come to instance ID. So the moment you run the integration will generate the instance ID. Same instance ID we can capture in the backend tables. All right. So what I can do, click on target node. Okay. Here you can use a fun function. All right. If you want to check the function, inbuilt function, you can click on the toggle functions. Okay. So you have to search with the get flow ID. Okay. So get flow ID, you can drag and drop here. Okay. Click on OK. Okay. So instance id 2, id 3, I just use these values columns for the future reference. Okay. Now I'm going to upload the payload. Whatever the request payload you received, right, we can store in a backend tables. Already we created a payload with the CLOB column, right, CLOB data type. Okay. So here we are going to capture the payload, create target node. Okay. So there is a function get content add string. Okay, you can use this. Okay, so we have to get your request payload. So your request payload captured in the request wrapper. So that just you can drag and drop here. Okay, bracket you can close here, put the bracket here. Okay. Okay, this will capture this function will capture your request payload. Okay. Status. Okay, status, you can give any meaningful name. Payload request. Okay, we are capturing the request information. Okay, just I'm mentioning payload request. Okay. So insert timestamp something like when that record is getting inserted into our audit table, our staging table, right? Click on target node. Okay. Here also you can search with the function. All right. You can call the function current date time. Okay. So current date time your insert the date. Okay. Click on OK. Okay. Done. Validate and close. Okay. Save it. So now we are going to call our PLSQL package. Right. So you have to call your ATP adapter. So what I can do, once you do insert the data in your audit table, so we can call the PLSQL package and we will pass the employee day as an input parameter, right? So what you can do, click on plus symbol. Here we can call the ATP adapter, right? My connection name is batch ATP database. Okay. Here call, you can give any name, procedure. Okay, call procedure. Okay, you can click here, you can see the three options: invoke a stored procedure, run a SQL statement, perform an operation in a table. So we are calling a PLSQL package, so I can select invoke a stored procedure. Click on next. You can select your schema, admin 1. Okay, my table name is xscan employed details table package. No. Okay, we are calling this package, right? xscan employee details package. Okay, click on next. Okay, once you select this package, you have to select the procedure also. Okay, if you go to PLSQL package, this is my package name, you can see here. Okay, xscan employee details. Okay, so this is our procedure. Okay, employee details, it will take employee as a parameter. Okay, and output we can get as a record type. Okay, this record type will contain all the details. Okay, we already declared it, we can see. So employee details record type contain employee ID, first name, last name, job ID, salary. Okay, so let me select this procedure, click on next, click on done. Okay, you can save it. Now we have to pass the employee as a parameter to PLSQL procedure, right? This is our REST connection. So what I can do, click on here. We have to map with the employee ID. Okay, this is our request wrapper. Click on employee details. Okay, click here. you can map the employee number to employee ID. Okay. So whatever the request we received, we are sending to PLSQL package. Alright, based on that your PLSQL package is evaluated and it will give the return type. So you will get the first name, last name, job ID, salary. Right. So okay, validate and close. So now we have to insert your response. So based on your employee ID parameter, your PLSQL package executed, it will give the response. Then same response we can insert into the audit table. Alright. So in order to insert into audit table, again you have to call the local integration. Alright. So let me click on the plus here, plus symbol, and we can call the your local integration. Otherwise you can click on here. Okay. You can drag and drop this integration, local integration here. Okay. Insert. So insert response. Okay. Insert response. Click on next. Okay. Batch 01 publish is our local integration. Click on next. Click on next. Click on done. Okay. Click on save. Okay. Now we can start doing the mapping. Now we have to do the mapping. So mapping from your call procedure output to map to your insert response. Right. So click on here in the mapping. Click on edit. Okay. So you have to check the call procedure response. It will contain output parameters. Okay. So click on here. Okay. So you have the response of the procedure. You can click on this employee details info. Okay. Well, now we can do the mapping. Okay. So I can map to the return status to the status and error message to the return message. Okay. And I can do the table level mapping. Table level. So you can do the mapping. Employee ID to employee ID. First name to first name. Last name to last name. And job ID to job ID. And salary to salary. Okay. And return status in the table. You can map it, return status. And error message is nothing but return message. Okay. And also you can map with this. Okay. Map to employee details info. Okay. So mapping is completed. Validate. And close. Save. Okay. Now we can do the mapping here. So we have to insert the response in audit table, right? Here we have inserted the request payload, but here we can insert the response of the PLSQL package. Okay. So click on edit button. Okay. Click on here. Okay. Here also we can put all the details. Source, target, interface name. Right. Again, click on target node. POS. Target is Oracle. Okay. Interface name scan employee details. And the interface ID, I can put employee number. Okay. Instance ID, you can call the function. In order to call the function, you can click here. You can search with the get flow ID. If you know the function directly, you can write it. Otherwise, you can search here. Okay. Get flow ID. And payload, click on create target node. Okay, again here we need to call the function get content, search with the get content as a string here. Okay, here we need to capture the response of the PLSQL procedure. Right, you have to call the response of the PLSQL procedure. So the response is captured here on output parameters, right? Call PLSQL procedure response. So I can select these output parameters, then only we can capture the response. Okay. Okay. And here you can give the status published. Okay. You can give something, it's a response, right? Published response. The response is getting inserted into our audit table. Okay. Published response. Okay. This is the insert timestamp. So insert timestamp nothing but current date. Okay. Current date time. Okay. So we are done with the mapping. Okay. Validate and close. Okay. So now I'm going to enable the tracking fields. Click on here, tracking. You can select this tracking field, employee details request, save and save. Okay. So this is the final flow. The first we have configured our request and response payload, and then we can insert the first initial request into audit table. So again we are calling the PLSQL procedure. We are passing the employee is input parameter. So your PLSQL procedure returns the values, and the same values we are getting inserted. We are inserting into our audit table, our custom table. Okay. The same response we are presenting to the customer as a response. Okay. Let me save it. So let me close. Now I'm going to activate this integration. Activate. Okay. Let me refresh it. So now integration is activated. Okay. So let me test this integration. Click on test. Okay. Click on body. I'm going to pass the employee number 100 as the parameter. Okay. Just test. Okay. Instance ID is generated. Get the employee details completed. If you scroll down, you can see the response. So employee ID as the input parameter. Based on 100, we have received first name, last name, job ID and salary, and return status also success. Okay. If you check this your backend table, so we can see two records, one for the request, another for the response. Let me execute this table. Okay. So your source and target, we have given source as PYS and target as Oracle, your interface name. So interface ID we map it to the employee number. Okay. By looking at this integration, that instance, we can tell that this integration run for the 100 employee ID 100 parameter. Okay. and also we are capturing the interface ID, and also you can see, okay, this is the your request payload, this is the response payload. The status we are mentioning here for understanding purpose, what kind of data it is. Okay, if you click on this, right, this is the request payload. In case of click here, you can see the response payload, right? What is the response you can see here? We can store in the backend tables. Okay, if you scroll down, you can see the insert timestamp. So when this in the record is getting inserted, okay, basically we can use this data for the tracking purpose, because in OIC we have a three days retention period, right? Whenever you wanted to validate some old data, you can just look at this audit table. Okay, so this is the high level architecture, and also you can pass the wrong input parameter. Let's say for example 1000, right? If you click on the 1000, so in case of the employee ID not exist, what we are doing, we are just giving the messages employee not found. Okay, so your return status is 400. Let me run this. Okay, test. See, 400 employee not found. Okay, okay, if you see this, if you execute this table, right, again 2 records are getting inserted. All right. So this is the way how we can develop these kind of integrations. Okay, first you have to build the publish to OIC pattern, and you can subscribe the publisher, and you can develop the main integration, and you can call this local integration as a part of your main integration, right? In the project who are using this process, they just call the local integration, but the only interface name vary for the each and every integration. Okay, we can change the interface name, what kind of interface you are running in the production, right? So this is the high level about this integration. So if you have any questions, please text me in the YouTube channel. I can help you. Thanks.